Hello, everyone. Welcome to the house to the class on chatting and small talk. Hi, Ramon. How are you today?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
Very good. Very good. Like I was telling someone in my last class, it feels like a Monday for me.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, and at least for me, Mondays are, like, oh, I'm tired.
Okay, I see. Yes,
Yeah.
it used to be the same thing.
Uh-huh. How are you doing today?
So far so good.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yes, I just worked and just sleep today.
You worked where?
I work on a private company as a business
Uh-huh.
analyst.
Okay.
hmm
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, and you just
and
work
tomorrow
today?
yes, I just worked today, and tomorrow I have to work again, and after my job I have to go to my English class.
Oh, is this a face-to-face English class or online?
Yes, no, it's a face-to-face because, in fact, it's a preparation course for the CAE certificate. Do you know the
Hmm.
CAE?
Yeah, the Cambridge, it's CA, that's Cambridge.
Advanced
Um,
English.
I can't remember. I've heard of that certificate, but I cannot remember certificate. I can't remember what does it stand for? Certificate of Advanced English?
Is Cambridge Advanced English?
That's what I thought. Okay. I knew it was a Cambridge test, and that's all. In fact,
Mhm.
I've been asked by people to teach that course on that, and that's how. And I when I was asked, I hadn't heard of it yet. So
Mhm.
hi Irma, how are you today?
Hi, teacher. Fine, thank you. And you?
Great. How's everything in Panama?
It's great.
I remembered your country. Ramon, I didn't remember yours. Are you in Brazil or
Brazil.
you are in Brazil? Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm two for two now. So, um, how was your
Yes, yes,
day?
yes.
How was your day, Irma?
Oh, was a crazy day.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Uh, because well, um, some a friend, uh, my friend, she
Mm-hmm.
get she was robbed yesterday.
You said something about that yesterday, didn't you? Didn't you mention that?
No, I mentioned that Panama is a good country to investment.
And but didn't you also say was it you or maybe it was somebody else who talked about somebody that getting robbed is quite common.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were
Yeah,
talking about
getting paid in cash. Remember?
yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, and because you said I would be worried about if I got paid in cash, I would be worried about getting robbed. Is your friend okay?
Yeah, she's okay, but she was robbed. But today we find the car.
Okay. So she was she carjacked then?
What?
Was she carjacked?
What is Jack?
Let, let me write that down on the board. One moment. On the car, if you're carjacked, this is what it's called, carjacked.
Yeah, I don't know what means Jack.
Okay, carjacked. It's just basically it means if somebody carjacks you, it means you are in the car and they tell you to get out and they grab your car, or
Jack.
I don't know what it means either. Just carjacked. But that's basically where you are. Was she in the car when they tried to steal it? Her
Yes, and they put a gun,
to her
and they
head.
have a gun. Well, I don't know if it is exactly to her head, but they have a gun, and they told her that she have to get out of the car and give
Okay.
her the car.
In English, that's called a carjacking.
Oh,
So we would say also carjacking. Um,
yeah. I don't know. I never have heard that before. After
yeah, at least it might be just American slang. It's in some parts of the world, it's more common to get carjacked than in other parts. Um, but yeah, it's really it comes from a movie actually. That's where it comes from. There's a movie called Carjacked.
Oh,
A movie called Carjacked, and that's where we get the slang. But it's kind of a known thing that if somebody comes up to you with a gun and says "get out," then you're getting carjacked. So
so it's used more in United States. United States.
I don't know if I learned. I mean, because I learned the concept when I was living in Finland. So I don't know if it's. I know it's American English, but I don't know if British people have grabbed that and if they use the word as well. So I'm not sure at all. But so hi Juan Carlos, how are you today? Okay, so he's getting his microphone set up and everything. So today we're going to be working on chatting and small talk. And so what I'd like to do is, first of all, let's just quickly talk to each other about what you plan to do over the weekend. Does anybody have any plans for this coming weekend? So,
Yes, I'm going to a friend's party.
really? Where? Is it in the local town? And why? What's the party for?
Yes, yes, in the local town, and I guess it's a new house party
Okay.
because they moved to there.
Uh-huh. Okay. That in English, that's called a house warming party.
Housewarming.
Yeah, a housewarming party. And that's when they have a new house and they want to share it. What kind of gift? Just out of curiosity, what kind of gifts do they give for housewarming parties in Brazil?
It's a common party. It's like, do you know the word? I guess it's potluck party. When you
Okay.
have to.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's this kind of party.
Okay.
Everyone brings something to eat or something to drink,
Uh-huh.
and we be there talking and just that.
So there's no gifts though.
No. In this case, no.
Because the reason, and I'm finding, and I've learned that in different countries, housewarming parties are different. And for example, in South Korea, if somebody is invited to a housewarming, they usually will bring things like toilet paper.
Really?
And paper towels and things that you would normally need for your home, types of soaps and things like that. Very, very practical gifts. Where when I was in Finland, I had a housewarming party, and I even told people don't bring gifts, but I still got several gifts. I got like a picture and different things like that. Even though I said please no gifts, just come enjoy my new home. So, but in different countries it's different. So,
Yes, that's interesting.
yeah. And Irma, in Panama, do you guys give gifts for housewarming parties, or is it just a regular party?
If housewarming party, well, just housewarming party is when someone buy a new house.
Mm-hmm. And they went to show everybody their new home, and so they just moved in. It might be, it usually within the first 4 weeks of them living there, they'll invite their friends over.
Yes, and people bring gifts to,
Okay,
to the person, to the owner of the house.
Okay, so they do give.
Yeah.
What kind of gifts do they bring in Panama?
Things for the house.
Okay, things for the house.
Yeah. Like I don't know, maybe a blender or a set of
The towels.
that, tools, a
Yeah.
knife for
Uh-huh.
the kitchens,
Yes.
and a
Uh-huh.
place to put the coffee, things like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's how it is, I think, that's how it is definitely in Finland. Um, I had someone one time, she came over not for a housewarming, but for just to come over, and the first time they come to somebody's house, they bring a gift. And she brought me some dish towels. And then about 6 months later, she brought me something else because she realized I had no need for dish towels. I did not need dish towels at all. So, Juan Carlos, what country are you from again? Can you speak? It looks like he's having problems with his microphone. Can anybody hear Juan Carlos? Okay.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't hear you, Juan Carlos. So, um, hi, Kako. How are you? Welcome. So, okay. So, Ramon, you're going this weekend to a party, a housewarming party. Irma, what are
Yes.
you doing this weekend?
This weekend, I will go to church
Mm-hmm.
and I will be in my house, study for some tests that I have to that I have the next week. So I will work. I will study hard this weekend. I will don't have a wild weekend, but
Uh-huh.
it's okay.
Yeah, so you're just going to have a quiet, what we would say in English, we might say, I'm just going to have a quiet weekend. A quiet weekend at
Yeah.
home. And in British English, they might actually say, and this is actually a phrase I learned from an English textbook, and it's British English, and I told my family here in the States, and they love the phrase that they actually use it, and their 5 and 6-year-old kids are using it, and they don't know that it's British English, of course. So it's to have a lie-in. And to have a lie-in means you stay at home. You might not even get dressed. You spend the whole day in your pajamas. And that's to have a lie-in. And they just absolutely loved it. And so one time I came into their home, and their 6-year-old said, and she was wearing her pajamas, and it was 3 in the afternoon, and she said, "We're having a lie-in today." so,
Oh.
so Kako, what are you guys going to do this weekend?
Uh, I will take my car to have an annual inspection
Hmm?
that is obligatory in this state, this
Mm-hmm.
Brazilian state where I live,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
I will have some English classes.
Uh-huh.
And I will take a line too.
You will have a lie-in to have a lie-in. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? I just love the phrase. And so you will run errands. You will do verbal English classes or other English classes. So it's
Only verbal classes.
okay. So you will have your lie-in while you're doing your verbal classes, right?
Yes,
And
it's a good idea.
yeah, and Juan Carlos, I wrote down run errands, and run errands means to do outside chores.
Gracias a Dios, en serio. Sí, mi lápiz sentimental por Dios está conmigo. Yo creo que los
But
manes vieron
noise.
eso y que, ay, no, esta peladita tiene problemas mentales. De verdad, muchas gracias. Ah, y le
Hello?
voy a decir a Maylin, escuché una noticia. Si el viernes iremos.
Who's okay? That was Juan Carlos. We kept hearing some some small talk. But to run errands means to do outside chores. So Kako was going to get his car done, and so therefore he was going to run errands. And Kako, there's another word. Do you know the synonym to the word obligatory?
Compulsory.
There's,
Compulsory.
oh, that's another. I hadn't even thought of that one, but there's another one. Mandatory.
Mandatory.
Okay, mandatory. Okay, just wanted to make sure you knew those words. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go over some idioms that has to do with chatting and small talk, and then we are going to practice a little bit of small talk, hopefully, and do some more or less some role play type activities. Okay, so first of all, let's start with some idioms. Bear with me a moment. And I'm going to start to screen share. And Juan Carlos, hopefully he gets his microphone working out. We've got match the following idiomatic expressions to their correct meaning and invent a sentence with each idiom. Okay, so number 1. 2 months after Tom left her, Janet married another man on the rebound. Does anybody know what on the rebound would be?
A second marriage.
No.
I guess it's the letter C.
It is the letter C, yeah. Starting a romantic relationship with somebody new while recovering from a previous relationship breakup.
But should I use on rebound in just when this kind of relationship happens in a short space of time or in a space of time?
Well, I think it depends on how, say for example, if it was a 2-week relationship but it was very, very intense and you break up and you're still in pain and you would still be with that woman if you could, and then you meet another lady and she's almost as good as the first lady, then you would be choosing the second lady on the rebound.
Yes, as far as you know.
Yeah. So, but I think that's like a lot of people who, they're with somebody for 2 or 3 years usually, and then they break up, and then in a matter of weeks they're with somebody else. A lot of people will say, "Oh, she was on the rebound," or "He was on the rebound." So.
Okay, that's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, number 2, Ramon, can you read that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I don't want everyone to know about it, so please keep it to yourself.
So, to keep it to yourself, can anybody think of what that would mean? Or choose the options?
That's the letter A.
Letter A. Okay, excellent. So do not tell other people about the secret. So if you are talking to somebody about something and you say, now keep it to yourself, then that's exactly what you need to do, is not tell anybody. Okay? Number 3, Irma, can you read that one?
I don't mind lending him money from time to time, but this is getting beyond a joke.
So beyond a joke.
Beyond a joke. Okay.
What would that be? Anybody know?
Maybe it's starting to become annoying. Yes, or
that's what I believe it is. 3 is D. Yep, starting to become annoying. Yeah, so, and this one is definitely British English. It's not one I've ever really used, but we might say it's starting to become laughable. It's getting laughable, or something like that in American English.
yes, but I don't know. It's a little weird that they talk about something that is laughable, but really annoying someone. No, or
Yep, it really does mean annoying somebody. So next one, Kako, could you read that?
My flatmates really drive me up the wall. He never does any cleaning.
Okay, which one would that be?
Make me very angry.
Yeah,
Making.
making me very angry. So he's driving me up the wall. He's making me very angry. That is correct. So I have a tendency to use that when I'm around kids and I'm not in the mood to be around kids. I usually will say, "You're driving me crazy," or "You're driving me up the wall," because they're bouncing. You know how kids are, small kids. So how about you guys? When do you
No.
feel like people are driving you crazy or driving you up the wall? Anyone?
When they tried to discuss something that is very clear for me,
Uh-huh.
and they insist on the contrary, as if they are not understanding.
Ah.
When they are trying to convince me of the contrary,
Uh-huh.
and I am sure they have not reason.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
They they drive me up the wall.
Okay. So can that be like on like political what specific topics would that be? Is it politics or
For example, politics, political campaign,
uh-huh.
candidates um, trying to cheating people, to convince people to
Uh-huh.
vote them,
Okay,
to
vote for them, to vote for them. Okay.
vote for them.
Okay. Right, thank you, Kako. Irma, can you read number 5?
I have my final exam tomorrow. Keep your fingers crossed for me.
Okay. And that of course would be
Wish me luck.
wish
Wish
me
me
luck.
good luck.
So keep your
Yeah.
fingers crossed. Do you guys also do that in your countries?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
No, here is
I
not
guess.
very common.
It's not very common, but Ramon, you're from Brazil. Is it common in your part of
Yes,
Brazil?
yeah. Sometimes I used to hear this kind of expression here, but of course it's not very common, as Kako said.
Okay. So it's not very common. Okay, so it is okay. So you both did agree. Okay. So yeah, because in the States it's quite common and to keep your fingers crossed. And it's interesting to actually compare gestures between different countries. It's very interesting. So okay, so let's try to use this. So let's start with you, Hermes. Ladies first, right? Can you choose one of these idioms and maybe ask Ramon or Kako a question? For example, have you ever been on the rebound? Or when was the last time you had to keep something to yourself? Or something like a question like that, if you can come up with something.
Okay. When was the last time that someone driving you up the wall, Ramon?
Okay. Ramon, so when was the last time somebody drove you up the wall?
Last time, let me think here. Some days ago, a guy on a supermarket tried to try to blame me because of a problem they have there. And I was right, and I asked for the manager to solve the problem, and the manager just run away and keep the guy uh,
Wow.
talking with me. That's it. I was really, really angry with the manager because he didn't do his job, in fact, because it was a man.
Wow. So then you were a customer, or were you?
Yes, yes, yes. I was a customer there. I
And
was a customer there.
so in Brazil, is the customer always right? Is that a phrase in customer service?
Yes, in fact, we have this phrase here, but sometimes it's pretty hard to solve some problems, especially when we are talking about um, how can I explain here? But our telephone companies, for instance, is pretty hard because they never solve our problems. Yes.
Yeah. That was my first job after college, was at a telephone company.
Yeah, really, really. Here it's normal. Every month they charge you for something you don't have to pay, and you have to call there and say the same thing again every
Uh-huh.
month. I
Yeah.
guess for me, for instance, at least 5 or 6 times a year. It happens.
I don't know if it will work. It works in Brazil, but I'm learning. I've learned that if I have a company that has really, really bad customer service, if I tweet it with hashtag fail,
Mm.
sometimes I actually get a response from the company. I think it was CenturyLink or DirecTV,
Mm-hmm.
which is companies up here in the States. I had a very negative call, a telephone call, and I got a response. And Bank of America, they were going to charge for something, and I did the same thing. I did the hashtag fail on Twitter, and enough people complained that way that Bank of America actually stopped what they were going to do. So
And sometimes it works here too.
yeah, it doesn't
Sometimes.
always. It doesn't always, but
Yes, yes. That's unfortunate.
yeah. So, all right. Ramon, can you choose one of the idioms and try to ask a question?
Uh-huh. Let me think. Uh, Irma, when someone tell you a secret, can you keep it to yourself?
Yes, I always try to keep all the secrets with me.
So
But yeah,
eh,
yes, I will keep the secrets.
do you have like a best friend or a boyfriend or a husband that pretty much hears everything anyway?
Yeah. Well, my little brother, he's 17,
Uh-huh.
and we only have 3 years of difference, and he understand all my things. So I told him all the things,
Uh-huh. So
all the secrets. So he's my confidant, and he know, but he keep the secrets too. I think so.
so he keeps it to himself as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and question for you. There's a word. There's confident and confidant.
Confident.
So you were meaning the second word, right? So he's my confidant.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So we say aunt, daunt.
Oh, okay, okay. I think that they say confident, but confident is like like confianza. Confident is when a person is sure of what he's doing.
Yeah. So they're sure of themselves. Exactly.
Oh,
That's
okay, okay.
yeah. And then confidant is the person in your life who you tell everything to, and you are really, really hoping they keep it to themselves. So,
Yeah.
I think brothers are pretty good at that kind of stuff because they hear a woman issue and guys, what do you think, Kako, Ramon? Guys, you hear a thoughts of a woman and you don't even think about it, and keeping it to yourself is really easy.
Yeah,
Guys?
for me, I guess it's easy.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, usually where I think women have a harder time.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep a secret, but men do it more easily, more easier
Easier.
than us.
Yeah, and I think it's because guys, Kako, Ramon, why is that? Why do men keep things to themselves easier? Is it because you forget?
Sometimes.
I think the, the talks of men are more generally or about general interest, like sports,
Mm-hmm.
about women, about hobbies, and not much about particular life of
Yeah. So
of
not about feelings and not about details.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
In,
yeah,
in this meaning, I think women are more uh, like more gossip.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. I know that like my sister has told me with her husband, she'll ask him about a conversation that he's had with somebody else, and he'll give her the basic overall thing. Of course, Heidi, my sister, wants a blow by blow. You guys know what that is?
No.
A blow by blow. A blow by blow, and tell me, Irma, if you're like this as well. A blow by blow. Say if we want to hear about a conversation that you had with somebody else, we want to hear what she said, then what you said, then what she said, then what you said, then what she said, then what you said. We want to hear the whole conversation over again.
Okay.
It's a blow by blow. And my sister's like, oh yeah, if I need the blow by blow, I won't have my husband. I'll take care of it. Something. It's really funny because he'll get irritated. I don't remember what we said. It's a male female thing, right?
That's interesting. Men used to be good listeners, but sometimes we used to forget. And there was a time it was very interesting because a co-worker of mine, it was a girl, she was talking with me about something, and I slept during the conversation. Really?
And she didn't know you were asleep because she was so busy talking, right?
No. That's the problem. She realized it and punched me, but in soft way. Oh, you're sleeping. No, I'm not sleeping. She realized it. That's the problem. And until today, she used to say it every day. She see me because I used to sleep when someone is talking with me.
Wow, that's funny. I sleep during classes, and what's really bad is if you're the English teacher and you fall asleep on yourself. That's really bad. No, I'm joking. I had a class once. They were wonderful. I taught the people for 5 years, but it was 7:30 in the morning, and I'm not a morning person at all. Or I'm going to try to be next week. I've scheduled classes in the morning at Verbling, but I would actually have to stand up during class and hit myself to stay awake.
Yes. When I'm almost sleep, I used to do that. I just want to walk a little bit or talk to myself.
Yeah, exactly. I would finally tell them. I would say, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to keep awake. They switched the class to 8 a.m., which is great. So.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not a morning person too.
Yeah. So, let's go on to. There's so many different. Let's go to this role plays, and I would encourage you guys to pick up this handout if you'd like and go through the activities. There's so many. There's the MP3s as well. It's if you basically go to this part right here, go back here, class material, and there's some MP3s to listen to, but we just don't have time to do everything on the worksheet. So I encourage you guys to go ahead and open that. So so in pairs, we're not going to write many dialogues. What we're going to do is we're going to act out. We're just going to speak extemporaneously about these type of things and pretend there's something going on. So, for example, number 1, there has been a scandal involving the president of your country. Gossip about it. Okay, so does anybody want to do this one? Or should we do a scandal about the president of my country? Has anybody heard any scandals?
Of your country?
Bill
Yeah.
Clinton.
Clinton.
What? There's a Clinton scandal right now?
No, but
Oh, way
With-
back when?
With the girl who worked on White House, in White House.
Ah, way back then, Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, he got impeached for that, I think. Do you guys know that word?
no.
Impeach?
Yeah, it's to
I,
impeach.
I know.
Yeah.
We have a similar word.
Yeah, it's a political word, and basically, if both the House of Representatives and the Senate, or the Congress and the Senate, would have both impeached, that means he would have lost his job. But only one of them impeached him, and that's basically saying you no longer should be president. But only one out of the two governing bodies impeached him, so that's why he's continued as president. So,
Yeah. In Portuguese, we adopted the Anglicism impeachment.
okay, so you
Yeah.
have that word in Portuguese? I wonder
No.
if we,
No, it is currently used in Portuguese, but that is not a translation.
okay, so did we probably take that word from Portuguese, maybe? Because so much of English is borrowed from other languages. So,
I don't know, but the word I put.
There is a word in Portuguese that we call cassação. Is the synonym of impeachment.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, is Monica Lewinsky scandal the last scandal that we've had for presidents of our countries?
Here in Brazil, we have scandals about politics every day.
Oh, do you? And,
Yeah, especially now because we are running the runoff in some days. I guess in day 26.
Yeah.
You get a runoff here.
yeah.
And that's time to listen to scandals every day. It's normal.
Yeah.
Is that because there's a lot of mudslinging going on?
And I think so. Some things I guess are true and others no. And
Yeah.
I guess some things are convenient to be true at these very periods of time.
Just for that amount of time. So, do you guys know what mudslinging is then?
I guess I got it from context.
Yeah, you got it from context. It's slander, basically. It's one of the reasons I hate elections, especially in a country like the U.S. where I understand the language, because there's so much mudslinging going on. Well, my opponent did this and did that. Do you really want him in office? I'm so much better. So,
Yes, our debates were basically the same thing.
yeah. See, if I I think I lived in Finland for 11 years, and for the first 7 years, whenever there was an election, I didn't realize it because it was in Finnish, and it was also very short. They still probably had mudslinging, but I didn't understand the language well enough, and I loved it. But in the last few years, I started to understand what was going on. So, okay, let's go to number 2. You are waiting to board a plane at an airport. The flight has already been delayed by 2 hours. You decide to start a conversation with the person sitting next to you in the departure lounge. So why don't you guys, all three of you are sitting next to each other in a departure land. Why don't you guys start talking?
Complaints about the delay.
That's true.
Yeah. So have you guys ever been in this situation where you have been delayed by flights on trips?
Yes, many times.
Yeah.
It's normal here.
It's normal in Brazil. I think it's normal
Yes.
worldwide. So tell me about one of the times.
There was a time uh, I had to travel because of my job from Belo Horizonte to Santa Catarina. It's a very distant place,
Uh-huh.
and the flight was planning to take off, I guess, at 8 a.m. And we just took off at 1 p.m.
Wow.
Yes,
It's like 7 hours or 6 hours.
yes, yes. But after that, there was a connection in another state, and the flight delayed again. And uh, I just came to the final destination, and 12 a.m. another day at night.
Wow. So it
I
took you.
traveled. Yes, I traveled the whole day,
It's
and
like going.
I was starving, and after that, I had to take a taxi and 3 years and a half to go to other city. Imagine, I traveled the whole day.
Wow. Wow.
Yes,
That's like going from one country to another country.
yes,
Sometimes
yes.
it's even quicker than that. So
That's true. That's true.
yeah.
It was my worst travel, as far
Yeah.
as I remember.
Yeah. So Taco, can you think of a bad traveling experience as well?
There are some of them. For example, I was waiting for 3 hours um, at the Curitiba's airport because of the aerial traffic was closed. The weather was very cloudy,
Uh-huh. Or was it
and
cloudy or foggy?
foggy, and I had no one option than to wait there.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it was uh, well. In another situation, I I was coming from Buenos Aires with my son, um, with from Buenos Aires to São Paulo,
Uh-huh.
and the airport was closed to landing
Because of fog? Or why?
because of rain.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was worst.
Wow.
And then we have to return to Porto Alegre, which is about I think about 80 kilometers from São Paulo,
Hmm.
and then it was terrible. But um, we have a happy end.
No problems after
No
that.
serious problems at the end.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Irma, how about you? Have you had any unfortunate problems? Oh, that doggy is barking again.
Yeah, they are outside.
Okay. They're like saying, Mom, come in. Can I come in? Come. After class, dearies. Oh.
Well, I was in Spain and then I I broke my camera batteries, and I was without camera, and my dad was so angry with me that he doesn't want to buy a new battery, and we will lose all the good picture that we will have took if we have a camera. So
Uh-huh.
he buy me he bought
Uh-huh.
an disable, how do I say that camera that I can draw up,
And that's called a disposable camera.
disposable camera,
Mm-hmm.
and that disposable camera have flashes, and in the museum they don't like that picture take photo with flashlight, because I think that they ruin
Uh-huh.
the picture, the the work.
Uh-huh. The art or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and they were so um not annoying. Is when I have to change to put the next photo, I have the camera makes some noise like, and all the person look at me because all noise, and then with my flashlight I take all the picture, and I think that they will throw me out of the museum, but they don't do that. But that was an uncomfortable experience.
Yeah. That sounds like it because you just had the wrong kind of camera and you couldn't handle it. I mean, you couldn't control it. So.
Yes, and all the people have normal cameras,
Mhm.
and I was with disposable cameras that
Yeah.
were held up.
And you were touring and you were a tourist and
Yeah.
yeah. And for me, I would say that I hate flying now. I absolutely going to the airport is fine if it's a short trip, 45 minutes, an hour, I can handle it. But long trips, I don't like. I had a flight from one time from Finland. It was from Tampere to then it would have been Stockholm, and then to Chicago, and then from Chicago it would either be Salt Lake City. It would be Salt Lake City to Boise, or if I wait 8 hours in Chicago, I can go directly from Chicago to Boise. And so I decided to do that. I went from Tampere to Stockholm, Stockholm to Chicago, and then I waited in Chicago for 8 hours. So I did not have to do this Salt Lake City, right? Does everybody follow me? Okay.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
following.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens? So I get on the plane, we get almost all the way to Boise, and Boise is closed because of fog.
Wow. Oh,
Okay.
bad luck.
So what do they
Oh
do?
my God.
Okay, so what do? They divert the plane to Salt Lake City, which
Oh no.
I waited and it's worse than this. Okay, so I waited in Chicago for 8 hours because I didn't want to have to go to Salt Lake City and then fly to Boise. But then they divert the plane to Salt Lake City. They put us up. They put us up in a hotel room, so which is nice. In the fact that it was free. It was a free hotel room. The next day they tell us to come back at 10 a.m. So I get back to the airport and and it was like 2001 or 2002, so it was right after 911. I think it was 2002, right after 911. So the airports were just terribly busy, and it was right before Christmas, and so they put us. So we went through the security. We got on the airplane. We all sat down in the same same seats we were in the day before, and then before they took off on the plane, the pilot gets on and he says, "I'm sorry to inform you, but because of the situation, Boise is still closed because of fog.
Again.
So we are going to fly you to Denver, Colorado, which is the other way. It's further. It's further south. We're going to fly you to Denver, and so I turned to the people next to me and I said, "That's crazy because Salt Lake is only a 6-hour drive." So we ended up everybody, probably all except for maybe 5 or 10 people, got off the airplane, and everybody rented cars and drove to Boise. But it was like actually the hotel was actually kind of nice after being on an international flight and having to wait 8 hours in the Chicago airport. And so that was kind of nice, not having to deal with family and getting to sleep and stuff. But the fact that we had to go through the airport security to tell us we're flying you to Denver and then we'll fly you to Boise. We all just got. And thankfully, it was not all that expensive because there were, I think, 5 people in the car I was in. So, but it was like, really?
Yeah, but I mean, it's really boring when it happens. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's, and it was do you guys know Delta Airlines?
Yeah.
And Delta, I think it was Delta. No, it was It was either Delta or United. No, it was Delta. And Delta was that year was talking about going bankrupt.
Really?
Yeah. But
Wow.
but we the whole trip from Salt Lake City to the Boise area, we were like, it's beautiful. Why are they saying it's fog? As soon as we got into the Boise area, which is kind of a little valley, it was completely socked in. It's called an inversion in English, and we totally understood. But we had, there's no way that airplanes could fly into
Yes,
that.
unfortunately, when the problem comes from the weather, we can do nothing.
Yeah, and Boise has a really bad inversion problem. So that's just an issue there. So let's go to another one. Okay, number 6. Let's go to 6. You are discussing with a friend where to go out for the evening. Your friend suggests the most expensive restaurant in town. So what do you guys do if you you are in that situation? Irma?
I told to my friend.
I tell my friend?
I told my friend, remember that I am poor.
Remember that I am poor?
The same thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or I might say, now, is this Dutch treat or are you paying?
Yes, could be a good opportunity.
If my friend paid, I think it's okay, but I don't have so much. I don't have so much money.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Sometimes I have, and then I'll definitely pay for my friends. But yeah, if it's are the most expensive restaurants in town actually the nicest restaurants or best food?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, because sometimes they are expensive for their name, for instance, or their geographical position, or kind of people go there.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the clerks are not so good when you're in this kind of restaurant.
The clerks?
Yes, how can I say when people attend you?
When people are what?
When people give you the food, there is a verb.
Yeah. Well, there's the waiter, and then the waitress.
Yes, what is the verb we use for them?
We use serve.
Serve.
Yeah, to serve food.
So, yes, yes, that's it. Sometimes they don't serve us very well.
Yeah. Well, the food looks very fancy, but that's all it is. It just looks that way. It doesn't necessarily taste all that great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
they serve small portions
Yeah, small
and,
portion
and
size.
and make a big draw in all the plate, and you only see the big draw and a little a little portion of food in the middle.
Exactly. What do you think, Kako? Or do you like the fancy restaurants?
Only in special situations. Rarely I go to very to expensive to expense restaurants.
Restaurants. Okay. So
My food habits are very simple. I prepare generally traditional dishes, conventional dishes,
yeah.
balanced food.
Mhm. Okay. Conventional dishes. Okay. Yeah, and I'm pretty much the same way. I'm actually very simple, and I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like expensive restaurants.
Yes,
So,
the same thing.
yeah. You know, and I mean I like ethnic restaurants, but I don't like expensive restaurants. Do you guys know what I mean?
What's the word?
Ethnic. Is that a new word for you? Please tell me it is. Say yes, yes. Ethnic means foreign or international.
Okay.
So like I like Chinese food or Indian food or Mexican food or something like that. So we would actually say ethnic restaurants. So, but all right, it looks like we're almost out of time. Would encourage you guys to download this worksheet. There's a lot of different grammar things that we just didn't have time to get to if we wanted to actually practice speaking. So I decided not to do that. So I would encourage you to download the exercises, and as you have time to go ahead and do that. Again, thank you for your time and attention. I hope you learned some new words and had a chance to practice speaking. And so if you're still awake in a couple hours, I'll be doing another class on, can't remember what the topic is now. I think it's a reading. Oh, exaggeration and understatement, on how to basically we'll be practicing exaggerating. So we'll be telling stories and making it bigger than it really was. So.
Okay, teacher. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much, teacher.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Have a good day. Bye.